Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you as well.
First question, Act 146 waivers. You submitted one in August for basically the new Office of New Pennsylvania. Did that waiver go through? I know last year's budget you had a line item, Office of New Pennsylvania. That wasn't funded, and then you applied for a waiver under Act 146 of unspent dollars.
Yeah. So no. Short answer: no. We didn't get. We applied for the waiver to recoup the dollars. The message coming from the House and the Senate was that there was no interest in have the Office for New Pennsylvanians funded, at least not at the time. So we didn't pursue further, and the monies were not allocated to the department.
Okay. Kind of with voting moving forward, if I decided to move under my new address, I registered, I went in to vote, but applied to send in an absentee for my old address, what's the process for picking that up?
So you're saying so you still have, so let me try to understand the scenario. You register in one place, you have moved to a different one, you request an absentee ballot from one place.
Different county,
and you
the state, yeah.
So when you, so this is a process. So you're only going to be registered in one place, your old registration. So let's say you from the old, you requested an absentee ballot, that come election day come, you didn't physically show up there, so at the end your ballot gets counted. You get to the, in your new county, you show up in person. And you're not going to appear in the poll books, so you're going to be marked provisional. And in the provisional review, the counties do the canvassing afterwards. Their comparison of records of voters in other counties as well. So very likely, and not 100%. We're talking about humans, but most likely your provisional ballot will not be counted. They would identify you having voted in the other county. Now, on top of that, if anyone finds that word of that, and you did it purposefully because you requested absentee ballot and you've completed it and you mail it in, and then there's no mistake here. You still showed up. Presented yourself as voting as if you had not voted before you signed the ledger or completed an absentee, a provisional ballot, you would have committed election fraud. And I do hope, and that's not because it's you. But this
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying how do you pick that up? Yeah.
So we basically would hopefully catch you, and it will be something that we will prosecute. And that's sort of the strong message, like kind of to balance the conversation we've been having. That's what we hope it does happen, that you're caught. Part of the question about fraud hinges on the incentive to do so. Why would you want to do so? What do you gain from doing so? I am wanted by the police. There's a warrant for my arrest. The last place I want to be is at a police station, identifying myself, and unless I'm a daredevil, it makes no sense. What is the incentive? And that's why we make sure that even on our registration everywhere else, where we're saying, even online, we very clearly know you're saying this is a truthful statement, and if you don't, you're liable. You potentially could face jail time and fines and the like. So that's sort of, I always go back to that. What is the incentive? If you're not doing my mistake, why would you want to put yourself in that position? Say, for example, the undocumented individuals. You live underground. You don't want to be identified, not just for you, but for your family. What incentive there is? I don't see how you can get paid that much.
Constituent asked me this, and I'll use, since I'm getting arrested I'll throw my son under the bus on this example. 7, but let's say he decides to go to college and he goes to Rutgers in New Jersey, registered to vote at my house at Dover, goes to Rutgers, registers to vote in New Jersey, absentee ballot to Pennsylvania, votes in person in New Jersey. What do we have to protect, to ensure there's not a double vote in that scenario?
Yes, since we don't have in the country a centralized voter registration database for the entire Commonwealth, it's difficult enough just to put together the one that we have in this state, but we did it successfully and timely. That's why the Commonwealth joined the ERIC, the Electronic Records Information Center, which is it's a database that compares states, and it has very robust databases, not just Social Security, Department of Health, and the jurisdictions. So we're finding ways to continue to have ways to compare records.
So we do have like an interstate compact with other states. Are all 50 states a member of that?
No, at the moment we have 20 states in the District of Columbia, and that number is growing, though. When we joined it just last year, we were number 15. So the number is growing, and we see an uptick. on that. So yeah, not a it's something that we will continue to look into the addresses, but. So yeah, the short answer is that not yet the perfect system, but we're looking for ways.
Good enough. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.